Before I move on, I think many people ask what Microsoft do in IoT. Do we actually produce device to actually capture or to the sensor device, if you like? As of today, we don't. Okay, we do some like a hardware around like a notebook Surface or Surface Pro. However, we do have an operating system environment to support what they call this like a IoT device, like a Arduino, a Raspberry Pi. We do have Windows, Microsoft Windows. Today's Microsoft Windows 10, okay, this is probably very commercial here, support many platforms, including your notebook, your handheld. The third party are our OEM partners manufacture our device, as well as what they call this the Raspberry Pi or IoT device sensor, if you like. We do have this operating system around that to support the front-end device, the endpoint device, if you like. At the back end, okay, and we understand there's a lot full data around. So Gartner or IDC telling you many data. So if you're creating or collecting this data through your sensor, through your IoT device, if you like, where are you going to store it? How are you going to capture this? And this data can come in the speed of light. You're collecting like millions of data in every 5 minutes or so. Are you going to purchase a lot of storage from the vendors to capture this data? Probably not. So also, once you capture all this data, we're going to do some analytic, apply some what we call algorithm to dig out what is in there, what kind of like a pattern, if you like. So a lot of algorithm, a lot of technology behind this IoT thing. Are you going to create it? Are you going to produce? Are you going to develop this software and hardware infrastructure? Yes, if you have a lot of money. Apparently, not everybody have a lot of money. If you have a lot of money, you want to invest in your manufacturing, in your R&D. So what Microsoft offers at the back end is really our cloud, our Azure cloud infrastructure to actually empower or enable you to capture, collect all this information or data, if you like, in an efficient way. You think about collecting. If you have all your devices sell to your customer, have a sensor, let's say, or more than one sensor. If you capture all the sensors around the globe in any one single time, you think the logic to make sure this data flow into the right place in the right sequence, you think straightforward? It's not. So Microsoft actually provide a technology, we call it Azure IoT, to help you to capture all this data in the right sequence in a meaningful way. Okay, that's one way to do. Another thing we're going to do is we do provide the software capability to help you analyze the data and present the analyzed result in a meaningful way, in a graphical or user-friendly way, so help you make decisions faster. This is all my Microsoft pitch, okay? And my presentation is not going to talk about our technology. We're not going to sell you anything, but really help you understand the potential of IoT, the potential of Internet of your things, how you take advantage of it. If you're transforming your business model, you're transforming your manufacturing facility to actually capture more business potential around the world, what Internet of Things can help you. The definition, I'm sure you see that. I'm not the first speaker, so I'm sure all the speakers present in IoT will share your definitions. So many definitions, but we normally look at Gartner. If Gartner defines something, probably we'll be right. But the definition of Gartner is more hardware. It's really the device can sense and capture data and actually transform the data and communicate data with internal, external parties. There's more Gartner definitions. But in general, when we look at IoT, we not just look at data. We not just look at the connectivity, the network to connect your sensor and collect this data, but we also look at the data itself, the tons of data with different patterns, different informations, and how we actually apply analytics, how we analyze this data so that it become a meaningful insight to help you make decisions. Like our previous speaker talked about smart building. So you have all the sensors, send all this information about FN 2.5, all this information. How are you going to analyze it and help with the result of this analytic? Is able to help you make decisions better or faster. This is what we as an industry, not just Microsoft, I think the entire IT or electronic industry actually looking into. It's involving things, connectivity data, as well as analytic. So the size of business, okay, I think everybody jump into this bandwagon. Internet thing is huge. As Gartner just mentioned, it's only talk about hardware. It's over 25 billion. I don't know how many zeros there. It's huge. And if you look at IDC, it's like it's a related market. It's more than that. It's like 100 times more than that. $1.7 trillion dollar market. You're looking at the device itself, sensors, hardware, software, storage, cloud, non-cloud, on-prem, service, everything added together. Huge, huge opportunity. And 70% of this value, actually defined by McKinsey as a very high-end consultant, actually is come from not really consumer to manufacturer or scenario. It's more B2B scenario. So a lot of potential, a lot of people haven't really explored yet. And if you have all this information collect from the sensor, how is that to help you to collaborate with your partner, your business partner, in a better or efficient and economic way? That's where the majority of business value coming from. 7% will come from there. So this manufacturing, I talked to a chairman today, whether your members still in the manufacturing or industry. I know all the manufacturing go to Shenzhen and now it's going back to Vietnam or somewhere else, but they probably come back to Hong Kong. However, if you're doing manufacturing industry yourself, there are some potential there. With this internet thing, then trigger some new business opportunity if you are able to transform yourself fast enough. So this including, for example, your customer engagement. So if every single device, every single product you ship to your customer have a piece of sensor to actually keep track of the data you want to collect from your client, from your consumer, from your customer, or from your partner, you're able to do a lot of things, Put it in the car manufacturing. I like Tesla. I don't have one. I cannot afford one. You think when you buy a Tesla EV, they actually have everything at the back. You connect to the cloud. With cloud, big data, analytic technology behind. You think Tesla create a data center to keep track? They might. They're very rich. They have a lot of money because people pay them before getting a car. It's like 12 months ahead. However, if a smaller manufacturer, small company, are you able to create build a data center? You talk about billions of dollars. You actually can take advantage of this cloud and big data technology to collect this intelligence, this information, this data from your customer. And through this information, you actually can enrich or improve your customer service. How many people drive a Tesla or know someone drive Tesla? You know what happened to Tesla breakdown? You call the call center, and they know where you are right away. And you know your name. Talk about privacy here. Okay. But why they want to do that? Because they can provide better customer service. They can actually predict when your car will break down again with the pattern, with the behavior, with a similar driver, if your age, if your car model, at the month of manufacturing, at the month of ship, with a similar pattern, they can actually predict a lot of interesting things to improve the sales. If they know your car going to break, your brake going to break, your tire is going to wear out, they can offer you a special offer, not by Tesla, by Dunlop. It's the tire manufacturing. Your car going to need a new tire. They know it before you really run into trouble. So improve customization, and as a matter of fact, they can extend this intelligence, if you like, to their manufacturer to control just-in-time manufacturing. If they know the car normally get problem in certain devices, they can actually feed this information back to their R&D. Their R&D need to spend even more money on this because this specific piece of device failed very often. So this information loop back to R&D as well as their supplier, because the R&D will need supplier to supply them material. They can predict what exactly parts and components they need to make the car, to repair car, for the spare part. If they can predict it in a precise way, they will help them to reduce a lot of costs, if you like, and improve the customer service experience as well. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say, manufacturer, I'm sorry, it's not easy to do manufacturing in Hong Kong, but if you're able to transform, use the product you ship to your customer, put more data, put more sensors in there, connect more data, you probably can create a new model, a new opportunity to help you regain our leadership position in the industry. We're talking about Industry 4.0, automation, intelligence, manufacturing intelligence by take advantage of technologies such as big data, analytics, and cloud is what it's all about. I try hard to explain to government, but they probably don't get it yet. But hope everybody here understands what Industry 4.0 is. It's not just about automation, not about robotics. It's also about IoT, and take advantage of big data and analytic intelligence to help manufacturing to be successful in the region. That's what we do. I'm moving a little bit technical into my presentation, so spare with me because I'm a technology officer, I'm a little bit technical. So put it in a manufacturing perspective. If you're a manufacturer, you have equipment, you have a device that you sell to your customer. If you can put this sensor, and it's easy. Sensor is cheap, getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And technology getting more reliable. A lot of actually exhibitors out there can sell you a sensor, IoT, or equipment, or data platform, if you like, to help you collect this granular level. Depends on what level you want. What data you want to capture, they have device for you. If they don't want, they build one for you in Shenzhen, easily. So once you capture all this information, this example is more from the demand side. So they actually can enrich, improve the design engineer with the data capture, their R&D, their supply chain collaboration, as I mentioned earlier. But actually, it's one use case. I'm not sure a lot any people here are aware of that. Preventive maintenance is probably one of the most expensive costs, if you like, for any vendors. Okay, today, even Microsoft, although we sell a little bit of devices, we still spend a lot of money on this preventive maintenance thing. Before I moved to Microsoft, I worked for a hardware company. And this company sold half of the server in Hong Kong was sold by my previous company. You know, we spend a lot of money to set up a team to do preventive maintenance. But this preventive maintenance is what? It's not really preventive maintenance, it's scheduled maintenance. What do you mean by scheduled maintenance? We schedule a day of certain month and we visit the customer. A lot of wastage. When you go there, the customer says, my system is running well. Why you need the administrator privilege to log into my system to check the healthiness of my system? They actually refused for our people to come in. But if I can tell, hey, your system is going to fail tomorrow. If you don't let me log on your system, your plant will go shut down because the system is going to fail. Why I know that? Because I have intelligence. I have a sensor in my system telling me this red light is flashing at the abnormal way. So I can tell your system is going to fail if you don't let me log on. So this is the way we do from reactive maintenance to proactive or preventive maintenance. Actually, that can actually reduce. Later on, I'll share you one use case, and that actually can give you more insight how actually company, like an elevator company, can actually use this technology to actually save the money, as well as improve customer satisfaction, as well as prevent a lot of customer finding of they are not really meeting the maintenance standard of some government building as well. So this is actually from the enterprise vision. When you're able to collect a lot of data, this data could be from traffic data, from EV data, for temperature, humidity of a smart building, even anything. Okay, you can capture. You name it. So for sensor, today's sensor is smart. You can sense light, even human. Okay, we actually in Microsoft. I forgot to mention we have a Microsoft belt. I don't know if you've seen that. We don't market in Hong Kong, but you go to US, it's one of the very hot product. Our Microsoft band. It's like a Google, they have it, Samsung, they have it. A difference between ours and theirs is we get to measure more. We can sense more stuff, okay, than other manufacturers. We can sense like a heartbeat, body temperature. If people fall down, we know they fall down. So the application of this sensor is really, really tremendous. So we capture all this thing, put it for we call different domain. Or one domain we call it the device connectivity management. Okay, it's not trivial. Okay, when I mentioned earlier, we'll capture all this information or sensor information, how you actually make sure they come in the right order. And when we're transmitting its data, nobody tamper this data. Okay, if you want to encrypt this data, sometimes you need to. How are you going to do this? So it's like about the data and connectivity management. Make sure you manage this data and collect this data in a meaningful way, in a secure way. So we need technology, we need process, we need to manage this process. And our process is about, once you have all this information, how are you going to manage this data so they can present in a meaningful way? Like a dashboard, if you like. Dashboard tell you how many data coming from where, okay, at what time. So these are the good information for people to make decisions of where they deploy the resources or where they use this data. So this is another area, like a data management and insight. The third area is what we call the most important area, if you like, is read analytic. Once you know all this pattern, all this data, how you apply this analytic algorithm, so to predict what's going to happen. So I'm not talking about this like rocket science here, but when you talk about analytic, predictive, there are a lot of algorithms. You can go to open source and download many different algorithms. We call machine learning. Okay, the term scare you a lot, but if you're a programmer, you can just plug in some data with certain pattern, then give a result. Okay, there are many different algorithms, but for some people say, hey, this open source algorithm is too straightforward. They're not really smart or sophisticated enough. They want to develop their own algorithm. So we also offer machine learning programming language. Our service is one of the most popular one in the market. A lot of vendors offer that, including Microsoft. So you can develop your own algorithm if you know how to really do your predictive analytics with your historical data you collect. Last but not least, once you have this information, how you actually distribute this information to your partner to actually optimize the entire business process. So this is not really just internal process itself. It also can connect this to different vertical, like a healthcare vertical, government, security, energy, smart city. Okay, I talked to many people, including Professor Wong, earlier on this smart city initiative of government. So really, once you have all this information, how you make the city smarter, how you make the security and law enforcement agent more, secure, if you like. So it's a lot of potential once you're actually able to capture and analyze this information. So I look at this demand side, supply side earlier on the right-hand side. So once you capture this information, you can actually help you to do analyze and improve your demand side on the right-hand side. As a matter of fact, you can improve your demand side from your left-hand side. Improve your customer service, improve your customer engagement. All this information you actually collect from the user themselves. Of course, once you get this information, you can do some smart analytic and some calculation, and you actually can provide better customer service to your end user as well. So I'm not going to drill into very much detail, but what I'm trying to say here, the potential of Internet of Things. Once you collect this data, manage this data, store this data, visualize this data, analyze this data, deploy this information, and get the insight from there, the opportunity to any manufacturer or any company, organization is tremendous. You can actually improve your supply side as well as improve your demand size requirement. So this is just one chart that I just pack in what Microsoft can offer. So don't pay attention. So you want to understand that. Not only our product portfolio. So you want to get into detail how our solution help and pack into this area. Talk to me. Give me a card. I get an expert to explain to you. But in a nutshell, what Microsoft offer is actually a platform in the cloud to help you collect this, what they call IoT information. We stream this, we help you capture it, put it in the data lake environment, and we also offer you tools to apply analytics, analyze this information, and then present it with our product called Power BI in a everybody can read manner. A very nice chart with graphical or like a Hong Kong different district, who are the user, what they're doing. It's very easy user manner. So that's what, in a nutshell, what we do. Of course, there's still a lot of technology behind that, like the SQL, like R I mentioned, Hadoop, big data analytics, stream capture, all that. So IoT transformation for new business model. I think that's where I think all the audience in this room should really think about. In fact, we, as Microsoft, we also create some new business model ourselves. Okay, a couple years ago, we only sell software to our customer. Okay, buy a Microsoft Windows license or a server license or SQL Server license. And actually start from since 2010, we launched our cloud service. So what we try to do is instead of buy or sell you a license, what we call open license, for a cost, for you to have the right to use our software. Now, we actually change our business to a subscription model. We want you to subscribe our service. You subscribe our Windows, subscribe our security offering, subscribe our software, SQL Server. Don't buy from us, subscribe. Every month you pay us $10, that's it. And you get our service continuously. Why we want to do this? Why? We want to understand your behavior. We don't understand your name. We will never give away your personal information to anybody. We will never use this personal information for our own marketing campaign. But we want to understand your behavior so that we can improve our product. Okay, this is what we want to do. Of course, this what we call subscription business model is more sustainable business model. And we invest a lot. By the way, Microsoft is probably only cloud service provider, international cloud service provider, if you like, have our data center in Hong Kong. Okay, a lot of people don't know that. Okay, we have 2 data center. I don't know if you know I'm sure you know what data center is. Our data center is about a football field. Okay, a football field with 600 servers in each data center. And we have 2 of them in Hong Kong who support customer in East Asia region, if you like. Okay, including customer in Hong Kong. So this makes us very unique because a lot of people say, hey, data residency, although we don't have a law in Hong Kong say data residents have to reside in Hong Kong. However, people still think data residency is important. So we can actually keep your data at where you want, especially in Hong Kong. So you can actually transform your data model, this model to provide better service, improve your operation process, as well as improve your product innovation as well. So this is how actually big data can help you. Okay, I'm not going to spend a little bit too much time on that, but we get a lot of quote from our customer. I cannot read it, it's too far away, but probably you can read. So in a nutshell, I think all the CIO, CEO, or in fact, not IT people, we're talking about business people. They think IoT can help them to transform. IoT, information technology, Internet of Things, can help them start new business model. Okay? And actually, one business users say, if IoT is probably the only thing they can rely on to be survive in next decade. So this is actually, in a nutshell, what the industry respond to this. So as I mentioned, I'm going to show you some video. You actually can go to YouTube to play. I haven't tried to play. If I fail to play, go to YouTube to try to play. So Tencent Group is actually an elevator manufacturer. 2 years ago, it's been touched with. It became quite quietly recently. But 2 years ago, you hear a lot of elevator incidents in Sunset Bowl, in Taiwan, even in Central. Okay, a lot of incidents happen. And some of these incidents, actually, I'm not sure related to this manufacturer or not, is related to maintenance. Okay, they didn't do the maintenance at the right time. Okay, so because of that, this company is very, very smart. They use IoT, they put sensor in the elevator, over millions of elevators in the world. With sensor, with this information capture, they can provide a better maintenance service.
With 3 billion people moving into the world's cities in the next 3 decades, the world needs tall buildings, and tall buildings need elevators. I'm Dr. Rory Smith with ThyssenKrupp Elevator, a leading global manufacturer. Maintaining over 1.1 million of these machines annually and keeping them running safely and reliably 24/7 is our job one. We wanted to better compete in our industry by offering dramatically increased uptime. So we're taking preventative maintenance a step further to predictive and even preemptive service. We teamed up with Microsoft and CGI to harness the Internet of Things, to collect data by connecting the sensors and systems in each of our elevators to the cloud. Microsoft Azure Intelligent Systems Service draws this data into a central cloud-based dashboard for a real-time view of key performance indicators. And Power BI for Office 365 provides rich data visualization, so we know which cabs need service and when. Microsoft Azure Machine Learning feeds data into dynamic predictive models so that elevators will actually be able to anticipate which repairs they need. Using an app on mobile devices in the field or the dashboard at one of our corporate control centers, all of our technicians see the same real-time information. Now we have the ability to use live data to define a needed repair before a breakdown happens, reducing costs for ourselves and for our customers, raising elevator reliability to new heights. That's the Internet of ThyssenKrupp's things, and it's here right now.
Yeah, so they put about 100 sensors in each elevator with a million elevator running in the world, and they capture actually every minute they capture about 20-30 sample data. So think about this magnitude. So they actually rely on Microsoft Cloud to capture and analyze all this data to provide service. So the other example I'm going to go into detail, but I really want to look at share with you one local example. Romotech, actually, they have a booth out there, number 6. Go visit them. Daniel is a good friend. So what they do, actually, they basically have all this, I don't know, you know this guy, a very smart guy. They have what they call code library. So all the air conditioning or TV set, you want to use RF or remote control, you need to have a unique code. They have 90% of all the devices in the world, the signature, if you like, okay, in their cloud. Okay, so they have all the signature of any single device they need remote control to control. So it's a beautiful asset. But they extend the business by selling this microchip or electronic to help manufacturing to connect this remote control to the appliances itself. But they can actually use this information to sell another vendor. They build a hub, if you like, to provide the remote control. So once today's remote control is so dumb, you can only control temperature. The most smart thing, you set the timer, right? But if you can open up this signature, opens up this RF information to any vendor, like TP-Link is one of their partners. They actually develop a hub. A hub can talk to all the appliances in the room, including air conditioning, and capture this temperature information inside, outside, as well as humidity information, as well as GPS information. With this certain attribute of the information, they can actually sell a lot of things to a lot of people. Okay, I'm not going to tell you the secret that he's thinking, but he's thinking really, really big. They can actually, once you have all this information captured, you think the potential. They can tell you the Samsung 250 model, most people use that model is actually in Taiwan. You think what Samsung going to do? Okay, just some idea of this guy, how smart he is. He got interviewed by Singdo. All this public information. I just called Daniel earlier. I want to share a case. He said, okay, share. Okay, he will be around later. Talk to him. He's a very smart guy. So conclude my presentation. Internet of Things is here. It's available, including local payer, international payer, big or small. If you know how to use this concept, you can apply your business model to make sure you take good advantage of your internet of your thing. Okay, that's all my presentation. Thank you a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sheu. So is there any questions for Mr. Sheu? There's a question. Sorry, Mr. Sheu. Is there a question? For? Yeah, there's a question.
Daniel also won the first prize in Hong Kong Electronic Division, Hong Kong Electronic Division project competition. This is a compliment. Second question, you mentioned about $10 for subscription. In Hong Kong dollars. Depends what you want. Let's say $10.
We're working very closely with actually Science Park is our close partner. We have a program called BizPark. So if a startup, what do you define a startup? If it's a less than 3-year-old company, okay, you're a new startup. If you need Microsoft technology like machine learning and genetic technology, we let you use it. We give you $10,000 credit. So $10,000 credit to use our Azure IoT suite, our Azure machine learning is a lot. You can actually help them to get to pre-series A, hopefully can get through that, so they can actually get into business and make money and the customer will buy our solutions. So that's how we do. So get back to your technical thing. In our machine learning, we actually provide a lot of algorithm for machine learning. If a customer or partner want to develop their own, they can. Okay, you can use like our SQL technology or R server technology. A lot of people use R. Okay, the difference between R and traditional database is really put the time attribute like in a database. So with the time series there, you can do a lot of things. Analytic, historical. Okay, so as well as develop your own algorithm. So you can always use R to write code to develop your own algorithm, or use our own predefined algorithm we post in our machine learning library. Okay, that's many options. So some people don't know what to do with data they collect. We talk to government. Many government don't know what to do with data. It's not about big data. It's about use case, right? So what we do is like, tell me what data you have. Give me a year of sample. Okay, of data, and we tell you what you can take out from there. So plug in our algorithm, and we give them some predictive result of the data they provide to us. Of course, some smart organization, for example, airport or other organization, they do have their own use case in mind. So they already know they have data. So what they need is somebody to actually develop the algorithm to meet their requirement and present the result. So we also work closely with this partner. Okay, hope I answered your question.
So we will provide API.
Yeah, of course. We are SDK. The machine learning SDK is a lot of our SDK stand for software development kit. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sheu. Thank you. Please be seated.